Yeah. Okay. This is good practice.
So one foot in front of the other.
Okay, yeah, one foot in front of the other. Okay, go. Okay.
Just give it everything, okay? Ready, go. Yes! Perfect!
You
Just
think
like
it's
that.
good?
That's good.
I want to pretend to be surprised that Kendall went home, but I'm not. And I have to give it to Isaiah. Isaiah has been one of the most strategic players in the villa, and no one is recognizing that because he was responsible for Chris going home. He was part of the decision to send Kendall versus Josh. And so I don't get how Josh is upset for Josh to say there's a divide, buddy. You were the one who was shouting USA with Chris. What did you expect? And I'm really sad that Nicola's gone. I think she deserves to have more time in the villa. Hopefully they will bring her back for another season, or even if for All Stars UK, even though that's not as good as this. But I really loved her personality. I really loved how entertaining she was. And seeing her and Justine train for her little challenge, I will miss her. Anyway, hey there, thanks for stopping by. It's your girl Valerie. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe, click the like button, turn on the notification bell for when I upload new videos, and definitely leave a comment. In this episode, I'll be reviewing Love Island Games, Season 2, Episode 14. So you have the winning squad in the bedroom. They're deciding on who they want to go head to head, whereas the rest of the islanders that lost are sort of wondering what happened to the other group. Where are they? And these people are inside the bedroom. They're making decisions. So they're sort of going through the islanders that are vulnerable to see who is best to sort of pair up. There was no way they were going to vote Sydney. With Isaiah, I don't think he would ever have wanted to vote Sydney because that wouldn't have been a good look, given the fact that he's already hurt her. And so for them to use the excuse that she's the easiest girl to beat, okay, it makes sense. It makes sense. She was the easiest. She was the more easier out of the four girls that were there. Gabby, they said she's a threat. You know, she's winning so many challenges and she's winning, jewels. So she needs to go. She needs to go up, which made sense. I get that. For Justine, there was sort of, and Andrea said, let's put Justine up because Justine, she has won it before and we don't want her to win again. She's already got experience with this. And so Tyreek then spoke up for Justine. There was no way they were going to put Justine because at the end of the day, Toby needed his partner safe and Tyreek needed his partner safe, and there's no way Johnny was going to put up Justine because they are friends and they walked in together irregardless of their history with his ex. And then there was the conversation about Kendall. Kendall had won challenges. Kendall had won jewels, so it made sense to put him up. And Kendall, his gameplay, he had a very good social game, and Johnny has been trying to get Kendall out since I don't even know when. So Johnny must have been the one who volunteered his name. The other guys wanted Josh gone. On her part, Andrea was on an island on her own. There was no one who was going to fight for Josh with her. So it made sense. And it made sense that they put Josh against Kendall. Because if they put Kendall versus Casey or Josh versus Casey, that would have just been Casey going home. And I think the UK guys need Casey for numbers for when they turn on Johnny. Because I have a feeling they're going to turn on Johnny, and the last three boys standing are going to be Isaiah, Tyreek, and Toby. I'm willing to put money on that. Anyway, so they received a text message to say that, you need to seal the fate of the islanders with a kiss. The islanders in the courtyard are sort of wondering what's happened. Where is everybody else? What's going on? Why are they not here? You have Gabby saying she doesn't understand how Tyreek and Toby won. And it's like, what do you think, Sherlock Holmes? They played the game just like everybody else. Justine is there. She was part of that game. So she will tell you that it was a genuine win. They know each other better than most of you. So obviously they're going to win. With Kendall and Casey, they were saying, we thought we were going to win, so we're surprised that we lost. And it's like, what do you think? What do you think, guys? Do you think you're seriously going to beat the other team? They were stronger than you were outnumbered on boys, and your girls are not as strong as the girls that they had. Their weakest competitor was Lucinda. So imagine if you're saying Lucinda is the weakest target, what does that mean? Or that's the weakest sort of participant in that group. So it made sense that they won. So the group in the bedroom then came out and they were told to go and seal the fate of the people with a kiss. And I love how strategic they were because they sent the 3 girls out first. The girls appeared confused. They appeared confused because Andrea was avoiding Josh because obviously she would have ended up having to tell him. So I think she was avoiding him until he had been kissed because she was told you can't be with him until he's received his fate. With the guys, they then sort of came out one at a time. Toby came out first. And surprise, surprise, I don't know why it didn't click on Gabby's head because Toby came up to her and she was trying to be two-faced, so she deserves what she got because she was basically saying to him, oh, you did very well. I'm surprised. Congratulations on winning. And it's like, seriously, you've just been saying you don't know how he won. Now you're saying congratulations. So Toby kissed her, which meant that, her fate was sealed. Nicola was kissed by Isaiah first. And I don't think it reached home when Isaiah kissed her. Johnny kissed her again and it didn't sink in. And it's like, what is going on? I don't understand. Lucinda went and kissed Kendall because they're friends. So Kendall, I don't think, suspected it. Gabby says she kissed Kendall, but I don't remember it. And Josh, I remember, was kissed by someone. I don't remember whether it was Gabby or it was Lucinda because his girl wouldn't kiss him, which meant that their fate was sealed. So the islanders were sort of trying to question what's happening now, what's happening. Nobody would own up in regards the fact that they'd already decided who was going head to head. The islanders went off to sleep. Everybody was still stressed because the vulnerable participants didn't know exactly what was happening. So they didn't know their fate. And so they were just wondering what's going to happen to us tomorrow, And then in the morning, you have Justine and Josh having a conversation with Josh saying he feels bad that their group won because he expected them to win. So he feels bad because it's not just him that lost because he lost, the rest of the group as well lost. So he has the fate of 6 people in his hands. And it's like, you're not a Superman. You're not a Superman. It's not all on you. Everybody else participated. So if they didn't do well, then they are accountable for their actions. You can't say, oh me, why me? I was the golden boy of this. Why didn't I do very well? I don't get it. And I don't understand why he wanted to make himself the messiah, the savior of the group. The islanders then received a text message. Nicola received a message for the islanders to gather around the fire pit. So the islanders are told to gather around the fire pit. You have Tyreek laughing because he knows what's about to happen. Josh is asking, why are you laughing? And Tyreek said, no, I'm stressed. I'm not laughing. I am stressed. I just don't know what's happening now. So the islanders are then sent a message to say, this fate of the vulnerable islanders has been sealed with a kiss. The people that are going to be dueling is going to be 2 boys and 2 girls, and your fate was sealed with a kiss. Immediately, Gabby realizes that she's one of the people because she goes at Toby and says, you kissed me last night, so you sealed my fate. And Toby couldn't say no, so he just started laughing. And then everybody else realized that, oh, we were kissed by so-and-so and so-and-so. And for Kendall was upset because he was saying, how can I have 2 jewels in 3 days? I don't understand it. With Nicola's ready. She was ready on 10. She was ready to go. I don't get why Josh decided to personalize the whole situation, because for him to say there's a divide in this villa, there's the divide. Why would you do this? There's clearly a divide. And it's like, you started with the divide. You walked in on day 1 and tried to claim big man on campus and went after Tyreek for no apparent reason. Your fate was sealed the moment Toby walked into the villa because Toby and Ty are the same person. You tried to go for Tyreek, they outsmarted you. They got Zay on their side and they were able to take out your number 1, number 2. So it's your fault that, Chris went home because you started it. Had you wanted to play a smart game, you would have gone underground and you would have outsmarted the UK boys. But sadly for you, they outsmarted you. They recruited Johnny, they recruited Isaiah, and you're left on an island. So they're going to continue to put people after you. I wouldn't be surprised if they put Johnny to go after Josh to see if Johnny can take Josh out for them, and then they can deal with Johnny afterwards. So the islanders are told to go and get ready. You have the island. Nobody's happy at all. The vulnerable people are not happy. What I found interesting was that with Justine and Sydney, they didn't say anything. They just minded their business because they were happy they were safe. Even Casey, we didn't hear him say anything when the boys were sort of saying, oh, there's a divide in the villa. He kept his mouth shut. I think he knew that they had saved him because they could have easily chucked him in there and someone would have sent him back on the next flight to the UK. So I think he knew that he was lucky. Gabby and Kendall went up to Soul Ties to have a conversation. They felt like people were targeting them because they had had 2 jewels in 3 days. And it's like, well, if you stop winning, then people won't come after you. But if you're constantly winning, people are going to come after you because they want to take out the competition. This is a competition after all. It's not just about love. They said they still want their connection to grow, so they were hyping each other up and saying, we have to win because we want to stay in the villa. And it's like, well, you are also competing against somebody else, so you have to bear that in mind. It was cute to see Nicola and Justine sort of training and doing their drills, because you had Justine telling Nicola that, remember that Gabby is short, so she might go low, so you must be prepared to go low if you need to go low. And so it was really cute and interesting to watch that. I didn't know there was a friendship there, or whether production told them to sort of do that together. That was the sweetest thing ever. You had Josh and Andrea have a conversation with Andrea saying, I'm sorry I didn't tell you, but this is why I knew that, this was the situation. They aren't threatened by Casey. This is why they didn't put Casey. They decided to put you and Kendall because the 2 of you are the biggest threats. I didn't know what to do. I think you could tell from my body language that something had gone wrong, but sadly, this is where we are. I didn't like it that Josh tries to make himself feel as though he is the best ever. Even once the Islanders were dressed and they got down to sort of sit by the bleachers, you had Ariana Maddox come out. And Josh had to repeat again that, there is a divide in the villa. I don't know why Isaiah has joined them, because at the end of the day, they are going to take him out next. Where does he think he stands on the totem pole? I think if Tyreek and Toby had their way, they would go with Isaiah than Johnny, because they know they can take Isaiah out, but they can't take Johnny out. So if somebody comes in that can take Johnny out, they will put that person up to take Johnny out, because he is more of a threat to them than Isaiah, as far as I'm concerned. And so it didn't make sense that, given the fact that Isaiah was trying to play middleman, Josh decided to turn around and sort of go after Isaiah. And now that Kendall is gone, I don't know what he's going to do. Anyway, so the Islanders are stand in 2 separate rings. There are 5 weighted balls in the middle, and they're told that whoever has more balls on their side than the other person, they are the winner. So it's done over 45 seconds. So first up was Nicola and Gabby. I was surprised. I didn't quite understand the strategy. I think with the boys, I understood the strategy. I feel like if only Nicola the first time, I think, was waiting until closer to 45 minutes, and then she was going to throw all the balls over, but didn't realize how heavy they were. So first round, Gabby won. Second round, Nicola was actually doing way better than the first round. She threw a ball to Gabby, and then Gabby picked it and just threw it without looking, and she hit Nicola in the head. I get why production stopped it, because there is a risk. She needed a CT scan just to make sure she's okay, and even if she was okay, she would have needed time to rest. So I don't think they have the time to sort of take a day or 2 out while she rests and recoups. So it's really sad that she had to go immediately, and she didn't get a chance to say, or maybe she did say goodbye to the Islanders. I will miss her. I know some people found her annoying, but I will miss her. Next up, we had the boys. We had Josh and Kendall. I hate how they made it feel like they were playing the Football Champions League, or they were playing at the Super Bowl, because of how they overhyped it. At the end of the day, it's just Love Island. They need to go and compete on the challenge where there are more challenging challenges than that. So the first round was won by Josh. There was no way Kendall was going to win that. He was fighting an uphill battle. And Kendall, I think because Gabby was safe, he was trying to stay safe as well, because I think he could see his future winning the money with Gabby. So first round, Kendall lost. Second round, he tried his best. They had 2 balls on either side and were sort of throwing one weighted ball between the 2 of them. And sadly for them, Kendall lost. So Kendall was told he will be leaving the villa. Gabby was devastated. She was devastated. I'm happy that Kendall has left, because I don't know how much he really liked Gabby, whether he liked her romantically or whether he just liked her because he knew she could keep him safe in the villa. So I'm happy he's gone home, and hopefully she'll find her person. I wouldn't be surprised if she couples up with Toby, so I can't wait to see that. Anyway, thanks guys for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe. Click the link in my video to watch my review from episode 13. Bye guys.